Hello, everyone. This is a quick video for the class notes for chemistry on Wednesday, August 26th. There was an issue. I can't figure out how to get the recording to work in Schoology, so I'm just going to make a wee video to support this today. What we talked about yesterday was we just went through what a typical week would look like. That on Mondays and Tuesdays we have lectures. And I'm going to rearrange this a little bit. Before the lectures in here, I'm going to put in the blank lecture notes to help aid you in taking notes for the lecture. On Tuesday, this is what it looked like. I had a sheet of paper here. If you want to print this out and then use it to take your notes on, awesome. Then you can store it in your binder. If you don't have a printer or you don't want to print it out, just maybe it helps to have a looked at so you understand what it is we're going through to kind of aid as you're taking notes, freehand notes, while you're watching the video. Below that then, so I'll have a blank notes page up here, or I should say guided notes page. So it's not totally blank. It'll be partially, I want you to finish filling it out. Then there'll be the video, and then below that I'll have the guided notes filled out, like here. So for those of you that don't have a printer, maybe you can save this off into your school Google Drive, someplace where you can organize your notes. You need to have a way to organize your notes. Or if you don't want to do that, you can even just leave it in here, but then you've got to use my organization to find notes when you're looking for them. Besides Tuesdays, I talked about Wednesdays being a day like today where I have a live class. I ask people to come during the live class. We'll go over a quick review of what we did on Monday and Tuesday. If I had assigned a worksheet on Monday and Tuesday, we'll go over that worksheet, post the answer key later that day as well. Thursdays are days that we do our labs. There's 3 pieces to this. The first one's going to be a lab or demonstration video. If it's a lab, I'll then have some questions after that lab that we'll go through as part of that video lab. These questions are as part of the lab. The lab's fair game for the quiz on Friday, as well as the Monday and Tuesday video lectures. Thursdays also have office hours from 7:30 to 11, and then 12 to 1:30. Think of that as just if you were actually in school, I'd be sitting in my room, my door's open. Stop by when you have some available time, and we can talk about any questions you might have about chemistry or Schoology or how I'm using Schoology to do chemistry. The bottom part of Thursday, very important as well, is our weekly participation points quiz. When you click on that Thursday, you'll be able to come in here, start your attempt. It has one question, and it'll always be the same question. How did you get your participation points this week? Did you attend the Wednesday lecture or the Wednesday lab class? You're going to type an A down here. If you attended Thursday's office hours, you put a B. And if you weren't able to attend both, you need to tell me that ahead of time so we can make arrangements so that you can meet with me prior to Friday, so we can get you, make sure you're ready to take that quiz, comfortable to take the quiz, so you get a good grade on Friday's quiz. Okay. I then talked about Friday being our quiz day. A couple things about that. So the quiz, content of the quiz will be based off of the Monday and Tuesday video lectures, along with the Thursday lab or demo video. You need to have all 3 of those completed. You have to have the lecture notes quiz completed on Monday and Tuesday, the participation points quiz completed on Thursday. If you have those 3 things done, then you'll be able to see the quiz on Friday. If you haven't done them, you won't be able to see the Friday quiz until you've done all 3 of those. The quiz Friday will be active during normal school hours, 7:30 to 1:25. And if you can't make it during that time, again, please make arrangements with me ahead of time so that we can get set up some time for you to do it over the weekend. I need this done by Monday morning. I don't want you to fall behind. So I do understand people work on Friday, but you should have some time sometime Friday, Saturday, Sunday to get that done. It won't take that long. You should be able to find some time. All right, so that's typically how a week will go in chemistry class. I then talked a little bit about the 2 lectures on Monday and Tuesday, Monday being our safety lectures. So on those, for example, I just picked out a few rules like no eating in the classroom. Right? I don't want you're handling chemicals. The lab tables might have residue chemicals from previous class. I don't want you getting your chemicals on your hands and then eating food. The best case scenario, it just tastes funny. Worst case scenario, it could hurt you. So no food or drink in a chemistry classroom. It's not a matter of being messy. It's a matter of being safe. Right? Talked about a couple other ones, for example, like contact lenses. It's fine to wear contact lenses, but be aware if something gets in your eyes, you got to get those contact lenses out quickly because they'll tend to pull that chemical in underneath your contact lens and then kind of hold it there on your eye. You don't want that to happen. So I just went through a couple of the rules, nothing in particular. Please review the video and your notes from Monday in preparation for your quiz on Friday. Similarly, I went over a little bit of the Tuesday notes. I held up a couple of the pieces of equipment. For example, I held up a beaker tong and a crucible tong, showed that they look very similar, but the differences are the beaker tong has the black rubber at the end, the crucible tong does not, and then the crucible has the little horns, it curves up on the end. I held up a crucible, showed that it looked kind of like a little cup, it's about the size of my thumb maybe, and then I compared that to an evaporating dish, which looks more like a bowl, like a cereal bowl, if you will, and it's a little bit bigger typically. So the crucible is kind of taller and thinner, and that helps us melt metals or solids. And the evaporation bowl is a little bit wider and shallower, and that helps us evaporate water off to leave whatever chemicals were dissolved in that water, leave those chemicals behind. I talked about a standard apparatus. The standard apparatus puts a couple of these things together. Our ring stand, if you remember, that has a base and then there's a pole. On a ring stand, we'll have usually two rings that are attached to it. They're ring clamps, and the one ring will hold. We put the one ring, and then we put a wire gauze on that ring. That allows us to put a beaker on it, and then we put another ring partway down from the top from the beaker to hold the beaker so it doesn't, when it starts boiling, moving around, it doesn't fall off. We put that top ring partway down because you need to have some room on top to grab it with your beaker tongs. If you put your ring too high, you can't grab it with your beaker tongs, and you can't get your beaker off. Right, so make sure you leave enough room. Also talked about the measuring tools for measuring volume. Right, the pipette the burette we use to measure volume precisely, measure liquid volume precisely. Key there word is precisely. The graduated cylinder is also used to measure liquid volume, but not as precise. So typically we'll use the graduated cylinder to measure volume, liquid volume, but if I ask you to do it precisely, we'll use the burette. So let's see, and then talked about that even though beakers and Erlenmeyer flasks may have those gradations on them that try to indicate volume, that's not ever going to be used for measuring volume. It just gives you a ballpark, gives you an idea of where you're at, but we'll never use a beaker or a Erlenmeyer flask to measure volume. I think those were the biggest things I talked about yesterday. And again, just go through your Tuesday equipment notes to make sure you understand those pieces of equipment. Tomorrow we'll have our video on our Golden Penny Lab. Make sure you watch that, and there'll be some questions as part of that. Make sure you go through that with me in the video. Again, that the lab video, the material in the Thursday lab video is fair game for the quiz on Friday. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. Hope all is going well. See you soon.